to have you on the line with us today. We have over 90 firms registered for today, so thrilled about that. My name's Colin Dunn. I'm the Director of Coaching at Nixon Advantage, and together with my business partner, Rob Nixon, we have founded the Proactive Accountants Network, which we launched earlier on this year. And Nixon Advantage runs the Proactive Accountants Network in Australia and New Zealand. Let me just give you a little bit of background about me. Many of you will have seen my partner Rob at seminars or read his book. My background is I am one of you, so I am an accountant. I trained and qualified with a very proactive firm of accountants in the United Kingdom, and started with them in 1987 and spent 9 years with that firm. And then since 1996, my working life has been devoted to working with accounting firms. So I've consulted to accountants, trained accountants, coached accountants in the UK, in Ireland, the United States, New Zealand, and since 2002, when I moved to Australia, that's been my focus. So thrilled to have you with us. Today, we're going to do two things. So first of all, I'm going to walk you through the Proactive Accountants Network. So what's involved in this network, what it's all about, and how you can qualify to be a part of it. And I'd like to show you how we can help you, help your firm, help your clients, and get you ready for the Proactive Accountants Network should you choose to be a part of it. And then secondly, I'm going to introduce you to three of our members in the network, Brian Bramble, Erin Jones, and Nick Kyriopoulos. And Brian, Erin, and Nick will talk with us about the experience that their firms have had in our coaching club program and latterly as part of the Proactive Accountants Network as well. So stay tuned for that. And I just also want to flag for you that before we get going, and whilst I remember, our Accountants Benchmarking Report survey is now open. And so if you're interested in benchmarking your firm against others, please take part of that. You should see some mailing information on that, or alternatively, simply go to our website at nixonadvantage.com and follow the links there to participate in the Accountants Benchmark Report. So let me tell you about our network focus within the Proactive Accountants Network. Our focus is twofold. So it's to help you and your clients dramatically improve your and their financial situation. So traditionally through our coaching club program, we've been focused on helping accounting firms. We've worked with over 400 firms around Australia and New Zealand in the last 5.5 years. Very, very focused on helping accountants improve their financial position through improving the way that their firms operate. And now with the Proactive Accountants Network, we're extending that focus to clients of accounting firms as well. And I'll show you how that works for you. So with that in mind, and my little clicky thing is just not working too well here. Let me just move on the slide. There we go. So the Proactive Accountants Network is the only designated network of proactive accountants in the world. And what we mean by being proactive is that you've really gotten on top of your own accounting business so that it's running really, really well. You've got the best practice systems in there, the best practice way of doing things, really stellar client communication, client service, and you've created capacity so that you're able to go and visit your clients and find out what it is that they truly need from you, and then match those needs with services that you deliver. That's what I define as a proactive accountant, and I'm going to give you a list of 20 such criteria towards the end of this webinar that I think if you follow and use the checklist, it'll be really, really helpful for you. I'll take you through your proactive journey. And so all firms who work with us start off in our signature program, which is our coaching club program. And depending on the size of your firm, and I know there are many firms on the line today, some very small firms, some larger firms. Depending on the size of your firm, you may start in our Coaching Club Lite program. This is a program for small firms with revenues below $650,000. Or you might start in our regular program, which is a more intensive, more intimate coaching relationship for firms who are larger and perhaps have the capacity to move at more of a quicker pace. Whichever program you move into, your initial focus will be on aligning and developing your team. And so what we know is once you have buy-in from your team, it becomes a lot easier for you to implement the concepts and the ideas that you'll pick up from the coaching program to help you really improve and dramatically change the way in which you operate your firm. Secondly, we get you focused on workflow. And so we have an 18-step workflow process tried and tested and implemented by hundreds of firms that we know works, that we know will dramatically change the way in which you work with your clients, and even from your core services, your compliance work, putting you in charge of that workflow process rather than your clients being in charge of that workflow process, and ultimately moving you towards a 10-day turnaround time on average with your clients, which will, of course, do a few things. First thing it'll do is it'll get rid of your write-offs. And when we go into firms, we see write-offs, and you create these write-offs. You decide to write off. You can decide to write on. It's a decision. That's the first step. But then you need the process and the systems and the how-tos to make that work. In the first year of Coaching Club, most firms get rid of write-offs completely, and that's a major step for most firms joining our program. That will help your cash flow, of course. Cash flow in an accounting firm we find is reasonably easy to sort out. There are three things to focus on. Number one is your WIP, so drive down your WIP days. Number two is your debtors, reduce your debtor days, and we give you strategies to help you do that. And then number three is become more profitable. And as you create the capacity to do more things with your clients and sell more valuable services to them to address their needs, then you'll find that profitability increases quite substantially. Then we get you focused on capacity, so creating excess and real capacity. We'll work with you to ensure that everyone on your team is doing the right things, that your accountants are doing accounting work and not admin, that you've got specialty admin people doing the things that admin people are good at doing, so a lot of the workflow management process, for example, that ultimately you have a full-time business manager running the business so that the partners can be out there with clients. And when you do all of that, you'll delight your clients. Now, those 6 steps there form our core coaching club program, whether it be at the light or the regular level. And firms travel through that program at their own pace. So some firms in 6 months will be through that program because they're already doing a lot of those things. Others, it might take 2 years to get through that program, and that's fine. You go at whatever pace suits you. But once you've got to that stage, then your coaching club journey reaches a pivotal point. And once you qualify by showing us that you've implemented all of those concepts and that you're being proactive with your clients, by invitation only, you will have the opportunity to join the Proactive Accountants Network. That application will be run by our Proactive Accountants Network member advisory board. We're very serious about the firms that we take into the network, of course, and then you may become a Proactive Accountants Network member. So that's how the journey will work for you. As I say, you go at your own pace, you focus on the areas that you want to focus on, and we'll get you to where you need to get to in the time frame that best suits you. So once you've done that, you join the Proactive Accountants Network, we then change our focus. And so we get you very, very focused on your marketing, which will help you differentiate your firm. And we also help you sell value-added services. And so all Proactive Accountants Network members must go through training in marketing and selling, and we run rigorous programs on that to ensure that you're able to demonstrate your proactivity through the way in which you position and market your firm, and then the way in which you go to your clients to fully identify their needs and then provide those services to address those needs by delivering value-based services. When you do that, you'll dramatically improve profits for yourself and for your clients, and grow revenue and wealth, and get yourselves and your clients to a situation where you're doing only what you want to do. And that can be a primary driver for a lot of firms who start working with us. And for some people, it's all about living a fulfilling lifestyle. And very, very importantly, why are you doing this? That's a question I'd like you to consider. And what legacy do you want to leave behind? What impact would you like to have on your community? and on your client base. That's what this is really all about when it's all boiled down. So there's your journey. Let me dig into these areas in a little bit more detail. So there are 5 areas here that I'd like to talk to you about. And those 5 areas are coaching, marketing, tools, products, and network support. So very, very important, all 5 of these areas. And I'm going to start with coaching. So this is our core business. We started as a coaching business. We now have the network for those firms who have qualified and are proactively working with their clients. The coaching business, the coaching club, sorry, is very, very powerful. And it's powerful because it addresses the needs that you, as people who are interested in the coaching club program, express to us when you first join up or have discussions with us about joining up. What we find is there are 8 things that people say they're looking for, as in accountants say they're looking for. Number 1 is we need help with cash flow management. Number 2 is we're looking for optimal security. So in other words, how can we take some of the risk out of our firms? And that might be through ensuring that that there's not just one partner who is responsible for the vast majority of the fee income in the firm. Or it might be that you may have one huge client and you want to spread some of that risk around. So we can work with you on that. Optimizing profits is one that often comes up. Team excellence is a big one as well. And in recent years, it's been pretty difficult finding and keeping good team members. And that's an area that a lot of our firms focus on. How can you differentiate yourself and provide a great team environment so that that becomes less of an issue and you're able to help your team become excellent as well. Client delight. Sometimes accounting firms are so flat out, so busy, that client service suffers. And by helping you create capacity in your firm, you can get very, very focused on delighting your clients. With some people, it's all about the personal excellence. So you look at what you do. Are you doing exactly what you want to do during your working day? Are you striving for excellence personally yourself as the owners of the firm? For others, it's about growth. Still others, it's about lifestyle. And so whatever it is for you, the Coaching Club program will help you identify those needs, identify the results that you're looking for, and then it'll provide you with 3 things. So accountability, learning, and sharing. Now, you can come to a seminar, you can read a book, you can learn about all of these issues, of course, but the problem with the learning-only environment is this is the sort of curve that you get. So you have an initial injection of enthusiasm, and then it drops off. The power of the Coaching Club program, so we're told by accountants who work with us on a day-by-day basis, is that the support that you get through the Coaching Club, enforced through the accountability that you'll experience in your Coaching Club meetings, where you're accountable for the delivery of your projects and the improvement of your numbers, not just to your coach, but also to the other members of your Coaching Club group. That support will sustain that increase in results for many, many years. And so that's the real difference that you'll see, the accountability, the learning, the sharing of ideas amongst the members in your group and outside of that group as well. And I'll show you some of the web-based support tools that we have as well. Sharon Wedlock. Sharon is our Proactive Accountants Network member in Christchurch, New Zealand. And you can see what Sharon said there about how she finds it exciting to be in a group of like-minded people and getting really focused on helping her clients with profitability and growth and having active promotion of her firm as well. And Sharon's told us that the support that she's received during the terrible times in Christchurch in the last 6 months or so have been very, very helpful for her and for her team and for her clients as well. So some peripheral benefits that will accrue as being part of a community. I'll talk to you about the content path as well. So the power of the Coaching Club program, the implementation time depends on you, as I mentioned. The content will change. If you're in the Coaching Club Lite program, the content that we get you focused on is firstly, where are you going? So we provide you with the accountant strategy map, so a series of strategies that you're able to implement. We give you strategies for reducing WIP and debtors, focusing on your systems, looking at the services that you offer, getting rid of your write-offs, and then moving into value pricing and value articulation. Now, for firms at that level, so the smaller firms amongst us on the line today, the Coaching Club Lite program is like a workshop seminar type approach where you're in with 24 firms in a room, you meet 4 times a year, and you go at your own pace, focused on those areas, implementing the content that we provide to you. For firms who are larger than 650,000 or who want to work in a more intimate environment or perhaps at a faster pace, the Coaching Club Regular program would work very, very well for you. And in Coaching Club Regular, we really help you with workflow and efficiencies and capacity, finding opportunities in your client base, and then we start you working on client interview techniques and looking at the other things that you can see on the screen there as well. And so some firms, even small firms, can jump straight into that regular program. That's fine. You decide in consultation with one of our state managers which is the most appropriate one for you. And then, as and when you qualify for the Proactive Accountants Network and you're invited to join, we'd be thrilled to welcome you to our premium program, only for PAN members. And in that, we get you, as you can see there, very, very focused on growth, on marketing, branding, sales, lead generation, pricing, managing that sales pipeline, and value-based services and pricing as well. So that's the content path that you'll follow. You see, it's not about size. David Miller in New Zealand has a small firm, and he's a member of the Proactive Accountants Network over there, and David says that it's the access to the expertise and the experience that's really important to him. And notice his words there, the preeminent accounting firms in Australia and New Zealand, of which I know there are many on the line today who are waiting to become part of what we're doing here. And note what David says here at the bottom. This means that our ability to provide solutions for our clients is greatly enhanced, and that's the real key here. Let me take you through the marketing, which we do as part of the Proactive Accountants Network. And so we have a very skilled team of marketing professionals on our team who are working together with Proactive Accountants Network members to market those firms. Ray Taggart here in Brisbane was one of the beneficiaries of some of the earlier marketing that we did. The Courier Mail, which is the primary newspaper here in Brisbane, picked up on a press release that we put out featuring Ray, and he got some 50 inquiries from people who read the article, very interested in understanding how Ray could help them. And so what Ray says there is we're able to show people that we actually are proactive, and that we've got the resources and skills to back up that call to action and really help our clients operate better businesses. And so that marketing, there's a range of things that we do. The branding, so you can brand yourself as different as a member of the Proactive Accountants Network, and we provide you with stationary logos, logos for your websites, your blogs, and so on and so forth. We run a website, proactiveaccountants.net. Please go and visit, take a look at that. We're driving traffic to that site so that people can find a Proactive Accountants Network member. We have a very active social media campaign where we push social media activity on choosing the right accountant to the business community. And already we're starting to find that members are picking up clients as a result of, for example, adverts that we're doing on LinkedIn.com. We have a media campaign, so we're pushing out press releases to all major business publications and channels. Host-beneficiary relationships, we're working on those with banks, chambers of commerce, etc. PAN TV, if you go to nixonadvantage.com and click on TV, you'll see some of the sorts of things that we do there, and growing all of the time. Rob is writing a book about clients of Proactive Accountants Network firms based on case studies of how those accountants have helped their clients. And, of course, that will help with the branding and the positioning of the network as well. There's a white paper that we make available to you to distribute to your channels on how to choose the right accountant for you. An ongoing marketing campaign, social, traditional media, and something we're thinking about as well in consultation with our members, paid-for seminars where your clients and prospects pay to attend, and will position you as the accountants that they need to be working with. And then client case studies. As you'd imagine, in working with the firms, 75 in the network right now. We have lots and lots of client case studies that we're collating that we'll then give you access to leverage off the power of the network. Speaking of network, let me show you very briefly the Nixon community. And so as part of Coaching Club, you have access to our online forum. And in the forum here, if you have any sort of question at all, you just put it up on the forum. So let's say you had a question on marketing. You just put that question up there. See, Amanda Newton here just this morning's put a question up waiting for a response. But whatever the question is, people will hop online, whether it be our coaches or whether it be other member firms, and they'll respond to your question. Perhaps you have a question on sales. And here's one here. Client requests all-in annual compliance cost. Lisa in Melbourne, one of our members in Melbourne, put up a question there. Melanie on the Sunshine Coast came back with her suggestion. Then Gary's jumped in with his ideas here. Lisa's come back and said, thanks for that. Here's a bit more information about the client. Matthew here in Brisbane said, I just sacked a client that sounds like the one that you had. The discussion will go on until there's resolution around this. And Lisa said, thanks all for your suggestions. Here was the outcome. And so great place to go. Whatever sort of question you might have, what you'll find is that people will jump in and share their ideas. We also have here for you the Success Library. And in the Success Library, this is where we put documents, checklists, and systems, and where your fellow members will do exactly the same thing. And so you can see there's a huge array of different tools, resources, and so on and so forth. So you select, I just selected WIP there. Here's a letter to clients on clearing out WIP. So you just click on that, you download it, and there you've got a template that you can use in a situation. You can take it, you can tailor it, and adopt it for your own use. And there are some 400 of those templates there. And then the Learning Center. On this, we have 130 and growing video clips. And so if you want to know about how do we sort out our cash flow, just go onto there, and you've got material here that you can use in team training sessions. If you wanted to know about write-offs, how do we get rid of those? Select write-offs from the channel and click on here. You'll find an 18-minute video on eliminating write-offs, exactly what to do to eliminate your write-offs. So lots and lots of support for you through the network. Let me talk about products as we come up to talking with Brian and Aaron and Nick. On the product side of things, the products that we provide are developed by accountants for accountants. And that's a very, very important part of what we're doing here. You see, we had this idea of creating a knowledge factory. I'll talk about that in just a moment. What Rick Henry here says, Rick's in Kerrang in Victoria, he said that one of the key attractors of PAN for him was to be able to offer clients an even greater array of services. And we do that through the products that we provide, giving you the ability to say yes to any client situation. And so the Accountant's Knowledge Factory is a new initiative. It will be a destination where you can go to buy ready-to-go delivery services that you can sell and deliver to your clients. And so PAN members can create these products and test the products. Contributors, so the PAN members, then systemize this product. We have a standard as to how you make that happen. They offer case studies, evidence of success, and initial sales help. And then our team works alongside the PAN member to help create the product, and we quality control those products, and then we list the product via the Accountant's Knowledge Factory. And then other members will buy. So if they've got a need, they will go and buy that product from the Knowledge Factory. And there's a revenue split on that. So if you, as a member of the Proactive Accountants Network, create a product for others to use, if someone goes and buys that, you get 70% of the proceeds. We get 30% as the distributor and providing the channel. And so if I take you back to the community on the Knowledge Factory here, you'll see that we have a range of products here, some of which we've created and contributed, others of which have been contributed by Proactive Accountants Network members. And so if, for example, you have a lot of farming clients, you might be interested in the Strategic Planning Day for Farming Clients, as contributed by Kappa, McDonald and King. They're in Taranaki in New Zealand. and there's a little video here of John and Andrew talking about the work that they've done with their farming clients. And there are testimonials, references. You talk to the person. I was speaking with Jeff Hatton yesterday. Jeff is in Adelaide. He's got a lot of farming clients. He was talking to Andrew Dark from Capper McDonald and King. Andrew talked him through exactly how they went about doing this. And Jeff's now bought that product, and he'll be using that with his clients. The firm that contributed this, by the way, they've rolled out this service over 50 times with their own clients at $4,000 to $5,000 each time. And so, as and when you have a need, you know that there's something there that you can take and go to that knowledge factory, almost like an Apple iStore, and just buy what you need. David Ross here in Port Macquarie, New South Wales, really rates the knowledge factory. He says it gives us access to resources as well as the opportunity to develop and capitalize on our own products and applications. And David's thinking about one there that he'd like to put up there. In addition to that, we create products ourselves. And these products that we create are free to Proactive Accountants Network members and available for purchase by Coaching Club members. And those products are in the area of business improvement. And so we have an initial product which we call Trust, the really useful selling tool. This is an assessment-based process whereby your clients can identify their needs by doing an assessment on their business. So they go online, they work through a series of questions, and the tool will create a report and an action plan that you can then take to the clients and work through to determine what needs the clients have. Out of that will often come the need to do some planning, and so we then have a fully systematized approach to running a planning process with the clients. Out of that may come the requirement for you to talk to the customers of the client's business to understand how the client can improve that business, and there's a systemized approach for that. Oftentimes what comes out of a planning session is how to do a KPI monitoring service with the clients. Clients often don't understand those key drivers, those key indicators in their business. And so here's a product that you can roll out with your clients. Another one here, how to make money from seminars and how to improve the profitability of any business. All 6 of those are done and on the Knowledge Factory and available for free for Proactive Accountants Network members. And we'll create others such as the ones you see on the screen right now that will become available over the next few months as well. And so our goal with this is to have a fully systematized step-by-step approach to business improvement services that you can take and run with your clients to really help you become proactive with those clients. And that product suite is there for you as part of the membership of the network. Chris Scott here in Geelong. Chris says that being a member of PAN gives us the ability to further build our client relationships by allowing us to expand and create best business services and resources with a group of like-minded professionals. And I think that's a great summary of everything I've taken you through. So I've shown you what some of your peers are saying. Let's hear from some of them live now. And so I'm delighted to welcome to the call 3 of our Proactive Accountants Network members. Brian Bramble, Brian's from Clifton Accountants. Erin Jones, Erin's from Wardle & Associates. And Nick Kyriopoulos from Peterson Group. So Brian, Erin, Nick, are you with us? Can you hear me and can you speak?
Yeah, yes, we're all here.
Fantastic.
I'm here, Cole. Yes.
Very, very good. Hi, Erin. Brian, Nick, welcome, and thanks for being with us today. So what I'd like to do is just ask you a series of questions, if that's okay with you. And we'll just go in turn. So Brian, if you don't mind, I'll start with you. So Brian, just for the benefit of those on the line, tell us a little bit about your firm in terms of location, size of your firm, revenue, anything else that you might think is relevant.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Cole. It's great to actually be on the call. We're a firm based in, with 2 offices based in Bowral and Bomaderry in New South Wales, down on the south coast and up in the Southern Highlands. 3 partners. We've got 10 team members split across the 2 offices, and about $1.7, $1.8 million turnover. We actually joined Coaching Club and Nixon's about 2 years ago, and I've just found some fantastic benefits since then for both what we do internally and what we do externally.
So Brian, when you joined Coaching Club, what was the main driver of you making that decision to come on board?
We'd been part of a group a number of years ago, and what I always liked about that was the accountability. Because my feeling was that we do need to be accountable to someone other than ourselves. But also we've found ourselves, you're constantly reinventing the wheel, whereas you know that some other firm somewhere has done it before, had the problem, solved the problem, and to be in a group that's willing to share that knowledge freely.
Excellent. That's great. So just give me a flavour, or give the people on the call a flavour for what actually happens in a coaching club meeting.
Sure. We start off with an accountability session where we're accountable to each other, and you're actually standing up there and saying, well, I said I was going to do A, B, C, and D, and if you haven't done those things, then there's a bit of pressure on you to make sure that you're getting them done. But remembering that you're not doing these things to look good in front of anyone else. You're doing it to improve your business, improve your profitability, but above all, as part of PAN, is to improve the service to your clients. Because if we're not giving them great service, we're not doing the right thing by them.
Absolutely right, yeah. So thinking back over the time you've been in the coaching club program, what would be, let's say, the 3 biggest benefits that you've gained from being in coaching clubs thus far?
We're able to get our office in order and get our operations in order first of all, which you need to do. The things like getting pricing up front and really getting all our cash flow in order. For far too long, we'd been letting our clients pretty much run our business, telling us when they were going to give us their work and pretty much just paying whenever they felt like it. So we didn't have complete control. So that really brought us forward a long way. But then the resources that are there and available, not only through Proactive Accountants Network and the Knowledge Factory, but just the little things that you pick up all along the way through your interaction with the other members of your coaching club and between meetings, but also at the coaching club meetings. And the realisation that, the joke is there that, without clients, business would be so much easier. Well, obviously without the clients, we don't have a business. Making sure that we are focused on what they need and not prejudging what anyone might buy. For too many times we've said no for the client, but before giving them a chance to say no because we're prejudged. And so changing that mentality and that we've got this whole suite of services that are of massive benefit to these clients and non-clients that we need to be out there and telling them about.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned there, Brian, that you'd taken control of the workflow, whereas previously your clients had control. So when you made some changes in that area, how did your clients respond?
We had an overwhelmingly positive response. And I cannot lay my mind to any clients that we lost because we made that change. And in fact, there were a couple of clients that we were a bit hesitant about with, for instance, upfront pricing. And they loved it. They said, I can't, we do that in our business. I can't understand why you haven't done it before. This is fantastic.
So, in other words,
so again, we prejudged what they wouldn't do,
right.
But they were really happy with it.
Yeah. And so now when you're working with your clients, you're telling the client what the price is going to be before you actually start the work.
Absolutely.
Great stuff. Excellent.
And for your cash flow, a lot of them are more than happy to pay up front as well. Now they know the price, they're happy to pay up front. You've just fixed a massive problem in your debtors.
And as you say, surprising, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's some good background on the coaching club program as it applied to your firm. And so tell me, what was the biggest factor that attracted you to the Proactive Accountants Network?
The client focus. And the resources available through that. That builds confidence in what you do. That you don't have to sit in front of a client and think, how am I going to deliver this? We know what they need, but often we stop short because we think, well, gee, how are we going to actually turn around and deliver this? Well, the Proactive Accountants Network and the Knowledge Factory, that's your ability to say yes to more and more projects. And in fact, you don't need to say no to any project. All you've got to do is then turn around to the network and the community that is PAN and say, guys, who's done this before? Can I have some help?
Fantastic. Excellent. And one of the products that I talked about there was trust, and I think that's one that you've been using in your firm. So just, if you don't mind, just share with the people on the line what you've done with that, how clients have responded, and what some of the results have been.
Sure. Trust is a very, very well written, well defined program to let you get into the client's business and, in their words and with their responses, drill down into what the core problems are that they're experiencing. So with Trust, we've done it with a number of our clients and generated projects out of that. But also it gives you another in. It's something that other firms can't offer, that you can then sit with them and really look at what the problems are and say, okay, gives you an action plan of moving forward that might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different projects that you need to walk through with them. So the client now has a path to walk to achieve success with their business. And we use Trust with new clients and also it's on our website so that it can be used by any client also. But we find that it's really actually better to walk through them with it.
And so with the new clients there, it's becoming the way you do things in your firm, is it?
That's right. It's setting a standard and an expectation with the clients. That this is how we do things. This is how you interact with us, which means that you don't just take every client that comes along. You become selective about who you do and don't take on.
That's exactly right, and I think also, Brian, the message that it sends, as you've articulated so well there, is our focus is on our clients. We want to make sure that we understand everything that you need.
That's it.
Super. Okay. So there are many firms on the line today listening in, and I'm sure making notes and thinking about what you're talking about here. So what advice would you give to those people, Brian, if they're considering joining the coaching club?
Don't wait any longer. There's no time like the present. The time will never be perfect. You'll never have enough time to do it. You'll never have exactly the right resources. Actually, one of the great sayings that came up in Coaching Club very early on was, "Don't let perfect get in the way of better." Well, that's the same. That's the same with joining Coaching Club at whatever level it happens to be. Don't wait, because there's never the perfect time, but you need to get better, and there are better ways. And there's one way to find out, and that's to jump on board and join Coaching Club.
Super advice. Excellent, Brian. Thank you for that. Erin, let's move to you if we can. So, Erin, just for the benefit of those on the line here today, just give us some background on your firm.
Well, we're based in Mount Isa, in North Queensland, and we have 3 partners and 10 staff, revenue of about 1.4. We joined Coaching Club probably same as Brian, and in fact, we share. I'm in Brian's Coaching Club group, and we're 2 years as well.
Right. Excellent. Okay. So, so Mount Isa, some would say somewhat remote.
Yeah, definitely.
And so really interesting, and oftentimes people ask me, does this work in remote locations, in rural locations, suburban locations, or is it just for larger firms in the city? And my observation is that it doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what size you are. It's all about what you want to become and how you want to help your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. We're probably in a unique position, and in fact some things have probably worked better because of our remoteness. So,
right.
Yep, it's been good.
Fantastic. Okay, so tell me, Erin, those 2 years ago when you were going through this process of thinking, should we get on board here, what was it that attracted you to the Coaching Club program?
We were in all sorts of mess. Our business was, even though we knew it was a good business with good clients, we couldn't seem to pull everything together. We were drowning, and we needed help. We were tearing our hair out with not enough time in the day. We couldn't get jobs through the door. We had no cash flow. Our WIP days were huge. We knew the problems. We tried to solve it on our own, and we weren't able to. So it came crunch time with us that we really needed a help to get the ball rolling on fixing everything.
Right. And so you're a classic case of what Brian was saying, in that you could hang around for 5 years trying to fix things up, but things are never going to be perfect.
No, and in fact, I think we did hang around for 2 ourselves, thinking that we could fix it, and we just we just never seemed to be able to find the time to do it. So.
Okay. All right. So so in the last 2 years, then, if you could pinpoint 2 or 3 of the big things that you've taken from Coaching Club, what would they be?
Oh, there's probably more than 2 or 3. It's been amazing for us. I think because of the accountability that Brian was talking about and having some KPIs to monitor that we weren't ever looking at before, having that that firm competition and accountability and all the suggestions of process changes, we were able to turn our business around dramatically. Our WIP days went from 100 plus to 10 days in 12 months. So the processes made a huge difference to us. We had cash flow, we had work turnaround time improvement. So within 18 months, we actually found ourselves with extra capacity, and we weren't tearing our hair out anymore and working stupid hours and getting nowhere.
And this is the sort of thing that we see, and there will be people on the line today saying, "Yeah, I can relate to that. We've got 3 or 4 months in WIP," and those of you who are thinking about that, take heart. In the Erin and many like Erin's firm have been able to, in the first 6 to 12 months, to just turn that around completely. And Erin, is it fair to say that the accountability really plays a part in that? In that, if you come along and say, "We're going to get those WIP days right down," and you haven't done that, then there's a bit of pressure there from the coach and from your peers as well.
Absolutely. It gave us a forum to have to do it. We always knew we had to, but we were always so tied up and caught up in everything that we were too busy to really focus on the important things. Mm-hmm. And Coaching Club gave us the forum to say, know what, it is important, and you guys need to make these changes, and you need to make them now. And that's all it took, really. As soon as we did put those changes in place, everything turned around really quickly.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. So let's turn to the Proactive Accountants Network then. So what does being a part of the network mean to you up in Mount Isa? What are you getting out of this?
Well, I think it's almost the second stage for us. As I just said, with all our efficiency improvements, we found ourselves with extra capacity. Mm-hmm. And we really were the same as Brian in that we didn't really know how to move forward from there. We had clients screaming for extra services and extra wants in terms of profit improvement and growth, but struggled slightly with how to deliver on that. And Pam's really given us the tools and the set of KPI changes and things like that that have been able to help us then move forward and start to solve those issues for our clients.
Excellent. And so for the benefit of those listening in, the KPIs that Erin and Brian are referring to in the initial Coaching Club program, we get you very, very focused on productivity, but not as a primary driver, just ensuring you've got good levels of productivity, but then getting you looking at average hourly rates recovered, getting rid of your write-offs, driving your WIP and debtor days down, and then looking at your margins, so your gross profit margin and your EBIT percentage as well. And in the Proactive Accountants Network meetings, that totally flips around. And so now we're looking at how many leads do you have in your pipeline? How many sales visits to clients have you made? What sort of conversion rate are you getting? What's the average fee for project work? How many A-class clients have you got? What's the average value of a client to you, so the average fee per client? And then still looking, of course, at revenue and profits and your margins. But Erin, as you rightly say, that change in focus is very important as you move from sorting out your own firm to getting focused on your clients. It's all activity-driven KPIs now.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the PAN resources or PAN products that you have, what have you been able to do thus far with those?
Well, we've probably used Trust and a couple of the other tools, but I'll focus on the other ones, seeing Brian talked a little about Trust. We've used the Hold a Planning Day session with one of our really good clients that were really sort of needing to move on to what the next step was for them. They've got a fairly efficient, high turnover, profitable business and sort of needed to know how to free up their time then to enjoy that success and didn't really know what the next step was. So we used that product in Penn for that, and the clients were absolutely thrilled. They loved it. The fact that we focused solely on a few hours, you know, a half a day or just a bit over with them solely on what they wanted to get out of things to build a plan for their business was, we couldn't have had a happier client in the end. So we wouldn't have been able to do that if we didn't have the how to run a planning day from the Penn Knowledge Factory.
And so I'm sure some people are thinking, you know, how easy is that? And so given you hadn't done that before and you downloaded the system, were you able to follow that step by step, or did you have to customize it? How did you do that?
No, not at all. It was very, very well laid out step by step, and we didn't have to customize it at all. We had faith in the process and followed it through, and it literally did step by step you from creating the action plan at the end to preparing at the start. So yeah, it was really great.
That's wonderful.
We were actually doubtful at the client to start whether the client would, you know, want to pay that much for just a day of talking, but the value they got out of it was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So one final question, Erin, and thank you for being so generous in sharing that information. For those who are listening in and thinking about what you're talking about here with us, what advice would you give from Mount Isa to those who are thinking, maybe we should take a look at this process?
Well, I think probably if I can take back to when I was first starting the process, you know, I'd say I was skeptical and I was cringing at the cost, and I'd say that's fine, but just do it because you won't look back, and it's well worth it. We haven't looked back, and our clients are so much better off because of it as well. So just do it would be what I would say.
And Erin, I think what you said there about your clients being better off is a great reason why it's important to do this sort of thing. Great focus you've got there. Thanks, Erin. Really appreciate you sharing that with us.
No worries.
Nick, let's turn to you. So, Nick, give us a little bit of background on your accounting business.
Okay, we've been going for about 12 years. We're a small firm that joined Nixon at the start of the year. Just one partner or one director. Equity holder is myself. We've got 7 full-time staff, 1 part-time, and a financial planning division. Ever since we joined Nixon, obviously our turnover and stuff have gone up, so we're heading towards about 1.2, 1.3.
Yep.
So a little bit smaller than the other two, so you get a smaller guy's perspective on the whole matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's basically the history about us.
That's great, excellent. So Nick, tell me, probably about a year ago now, you were where the people on the webinar are now, thinking, should we get on board with this? So what was it that made you join?
The fact that I was just the only partner in the business, or the only director, and the buck stopped with me, I didn't have the support network that I thought I needed to run a firm, and I'd read up a few of the success stories and newsletters that were coming out from Nixon, and I thought I'm better off investing a little bit of money for a couple of years and seeing if this works. And if it does, it's great for me. If it doesn't, then what have I got to lose? Just a bit of money. I'm already pissing most of it up the wall anyway, the way I was going anyway.
Excellent. Okay. So nothing to lose. Let's give it a go. That sounds like a good approach to me. So, so 9 months or so into the process now.
Yep.
So tell us what are the big things that you've got thus far in being involved in this?
The biggest part, or the 2 biggest parts for me, was the workflow really, really improved. The efficiencies there improved a lot. And it basically let me take a bit of risk out of the way we did things and the way we operated. And the second thing was that we gained a lot of confidence to be able to price our jobs and our work a lot better and get more rewarded more for what we did. Which is value pricing. I'm not too sure if everyone understands what that process is, but that really improved our firm quite a bit. And just to give you the background in that, last year we did a turnover of about 700, 750, and this year we've already, you know, we're heading towards 1.2, 1.4. So we've got some massive growth out of that.
And so, and a lot of that coming from special project work that you've done with clients?
Pretty much, yeah. And obviously we're getting a lot better referrals now because our clients are starting to view us in a different way.
Yep.
So we're getting better referrals.
Great. Fantastic. And really interesting what you said about, you know, you're the sole director there, and you can basically do what you want, move at your own pace. And you were one of the faster firms to graduate through that initial coaching club program and move into PAN, primarily because of a lot of that project work you were doing and being very, very proactive with your clients. And so tell me, what was the main attractor for you of being a part of the Proactive Accountants Network?
The main reason to move into the Proactive Accountants Network when Rob asked me to go in was the fact that it was a network of people that I was going to be involved with. We're starting to deal with firms that are 10 times my size and had a lot more experience in certain areas that I didn't have, and I thought just that knowledge alone for me was more than what the investment was putting into it. So that was a big plus for me. I was able to say yes to every single client now for every single job because, as you demonstrated before, you put something on the forum and you get so many answers. The Proactive Accountants Network gives you the next step forward from there.
And you know, I really see that networking part of it within the network with those elite firms who are a part of it becoming a major value proposition here. So that's super to hear. Now, with the PAN products and resources that you have, what have you been able to do thus far with your clients using some of those resources, Nick?
I've used the trust system quite often. I've used it, I think, a total of 18 times with 18 different clients.
Right.
And I've generated, I'm not too sure if someone spoke about it before, I think it was Aaron, about the planning days and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I've generated 10 planning days and 18 consulting jobs out of the whole thing. So I've had 100% success rate with it.
So all 18 clients you've used it with,
every single one.
Something's come out. Fantastic.
Yep.
And what would you say would be the average fee?
Well, the average fee of all these clients that we did was around the 4,000 to 5,000 for their compliance work, but the average that we've generated out of the trust system for additional work is around the $7,000. So they've basically tripled in fees, most of these guys.
That's fantastic. And really well done. You know, it's all very well to have a product there, but you need to take it and sit with the client and go through that process. So that's a credit to you, and I'm sure your clients are getting enormous value from the whole process as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic for them. It's fantastic.
Great, excellent. Okay, so people sitting on the line now listening to what you're saying, Nick, and as you said, I'm sure that there'll be some smaller firms there thinking good to get that perspective from essentially a sole practitioner, but doing some really, really interesting things. What would your advice be, Nick, to people listening in today and thinking about joining the coaching club?
I think if you haven't got it right up until now, then don't keep on trying because you obviously got your own habits that aren't working. So get involved with a program that's got success because I think it's got success. I've seen it happen with myself. I've spoken to other members that I've seen it happen with. And basically, if you want to make more money and be more efficient, then get on board. If not, stay where you are.
Of course, and it's not for everyone, but I think that's a really great perspective, Nick. So appreciate that, and I like what you're saying about, you know, everyone's got old habits that aren't working, and sometimes it just takes jumping into a new situation and challenging some of those paradigms and mindsets that you have to throw out those old habits and start doing something different. Nick, really appreciate your time and your input there, and I'm sure that everyone on the line does as well. Thanks so much for your time. And thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Brian, as well. We really appreciate you sharing those insights with everyone who's joined us on the line. So, team, before we wrap up, let me close the webinar with, if I can move to the next slide. There we go. With one final word. but I'm going to give you a checklist here of 20 things to follow. There are essentially two types of accountants, and what I'd like to do as I get to the slide following this is to have you score yourself in 20 different areas, and then you can make a decision as to which type you are right now. What we see is type 1 accountants wonder what happened. They're essentially, unfortunately, history writers who are reactive. And I think that's not because that's what they want to be, but it's because they're so busy, so overwhelmed doing the compliance type work with their clients that they simply don't have the time to lift their head above the parapet and do what they really wanted to do when they started to become an accountant, which in most cases was to get out and help their clients. And then number 2, the type 2 accountants are the ones who make things happen. So they're the ones who are sitting with their clients, finding out what clients really need, and together working with their clients, they're making history, and they're the proactive accountants. And so we did a whole series of client advisory boards. Client advisory board being an independent facilitator comes into your firm, you invite your best clients, sit around a table, and talk about the relationship that they have with the accounting firm, and provide feedback on what the firm does well, what it does badly, what they'd like to see more of, what they would change. The overwhelming feedback was that the clients want a different relationship with their accountant, and we've summarized that feedback from 1,077 clients of accounting firms in the following 20 points. And those points are as follows. So type 1, the reactive accountant, versus type 2, the proactive accountants. Here's number 1. Clients call you when they have an issue. So this is the classic symptom of the reactive type accountants. When you talk to your clients, it's because they've called you. A proactive accountant, you call them frequently to check how they're going. So score yourself, just put a tick, which one are you? We can make this slide available to you if that's helpful for you. Number 2, clients visit you when they have to. So they have a need, they come and see you. The proactive accountant, you visit your clients frequently at no charge. So it's part of your client communication program. You consider this as marketing time or as client service time. You don't send them a bill for it. Number 3, reactive, on the reactive side of things. Clients hear from you for bad or history type things. Whereas on the proactive side, you communicate new ideas to your clients. Number 4, clients are surprised when you contact them. It must be something bad. You've never called me before. For proactive accountants, you have a client communication program that you follow with your clients. Number 5, clients feel you charge them for everything. Whereas proactive accountants, you don't charge for calls or for emails. Number 6 is clients feel that you don't understand them. Whereas proactive accountants, number 6 is you make an effort to understand them, and to do that, you've got to be out there talking with them. Number 7, clients get a bill from you after the fact, whereas with your proactive, you price in advance as a matter of courtesy. If you're reactive, your clients get surprise bills from the ATO, or for our friends in New Zealand, from the IRD, and often with a compliment slip from you. With your proactive, you educate your clients as to how much the bill will be and when it's due. Number 9 is reactive accountants, their clients never get asked for their feedback, whereas proactive accountants consistently ask their clients for feedback. A reactive accountant's clients will talk less than the accountant does in the meeting, whereas a proactive accountant listens more and asks better questions. Here's number 11. Reactive accountants' clients feel like you tell them what to do, not how to do it, whereas a proactive accountant educates their clients on what to do and how to do it. The clients of a reactive accountant don't understand what to send in, whereas a proactive accountant will educate and send checklists to their clients. Clients of a reactive accountant buy grudge and historian-based services, whereas a proactive accountant, you offer all value-based services. Clients of reactive accountants send in work when they're ready. This is what Brian was talking about just before. Whereas proactive accountants schedule work when you're ready to do that work for your clients. Clients of reactive accountants get their work when you're ready to get it back to them. Whereas you as a proactive accountant offer an agreed delivery deadline for that work. Reactive accountants' clients are prejudged by you as to what they need. And you heard Brian, Erin, and Nick all saying, you really have no idea what it is that your clients want until you go and sit with them and ask them some questions. You ask questions to determine all of their needs. Clients of reactive accountants have a very limited relationship with you, whereas proactive accountants build enduring relationships with their clients. Number 18, clients don't understand your value if you're reactive, whereas if you're proactive, you articulate the value that you add. Clients of reactive accountants don't understand their financials, whereas proactive accountants educate their clients on their financial results. And number 20, and most importantly, I think, clients of a reactive accountant feel like they're on their own, whereas a proactive accountant will work with clients very, very closely. It's a true partnership. So how do you stack up against that list of 20? Score yourself, and let me leave the final word here to Peter Licandro. Peter's one of our really top-performing Proactive Accountants Network members. He says that the network helps to provide us with a level of service equaled by no other. Gives us the tools we require to be proactive and to look into the future rather than be reactive and look at the past. And clients can only benefit from this type of analysis. I think if your focus is on your clients, then that's a great place for it to be. So with that list of 20, one of our state managers will follow up with you as a thank you for being on this webinar. And they will be offering you an initial consultation at no charge. That list of 20 would be great to have as you're having that discussion with the state manager who'll be in touch with you, because they'll help you get very, very focused on how this whole process can best help you. I do hope you've got value from this hour. It's been great to have you on the call today. It's been wonderful also to have Brian, Erin, and Nick, and I know you all appreciate their time in sharing so freely of their experiences. For now, let me say thank you one more time, and I trust that you'll give due consideration to joining us on this journey towards the Proactive Accountants Network. For now, bye-bye.